thought today comes from a lady who writes, "There's a special place in my heart for my family. I think that explains the palpitations." Today is the first day of February. It's the month of the Holy Family. As you know, each month is dedicated to a specific saint or devotion. June is the month of the Sacred Heart, October the month of the Holy Rosary, March the month of St. Joseph. Today we begin the month of the Holy Family of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And this really originated back in the 17th century. In France, the Daughters of the Holy Family in Paris helped to establish the Association of the Holy Family, and that eventually spread to Canada and then to the whole world. And in 1893, Leo XIII spread this devotion throughout the whole church, devotion to the Holy Family of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Now, it's interesting when you look back to first century Judaism, what was the Holy Family like? What prayers did they say? Well, we actually know because of Jewish law and the Mishnah and the Talmud, we know what prayers the Holy Family would have said. And the Holy Family really fulfilled the Jewish law in all its perfection. So they would have had a great love for the Psalms. They would have prayed the Psalms just as we do in the Liturgy of the Hours every day. They would have prayed the Psalms, and 3 times a day, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph would recite the Tefillah, which is the 18 invocations and blessings. And then St. Joseph and later Jesus, when he attained manhood, were obliged to say the Shema as their profession of faith in the one true God, and they would say that at least twice a day. "Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is one. You shall have no other gods before you. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, and your neighbor as yourself." So we know that the Holy Family would have recited that prayer many times a day. The Holy Family would have also had a mezuzah on their doorpost, which was a small wooden tube. Inside would be the scroll that they would touch as Jesus, Mary, and Joseph entered their home, or when they left the home, they would have reverently placed their hands upon this mezuzah and recited the prayer from Deuteronomy, "May God keep my going out and my coming in from now on and forevermore." So they had that parchment, and many of my Jewish friends, that when I go to visit their homes, they have that on the doorpost. It's a beautiful reminder that there is one God and we have to love him and our neighbor as ourselves. St. Joseph and Jesus would have also worn phylacteries, which were little leather boxes or pouches that they would wear either over their forehead or on their arm, and close to their heart, on the left arm, closest to the heart. And in that would be the parchment. "And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind." Because it says, always keep this close to your heart and in the forefront of your mind. So those are just a few thoughts about the spiritual life of the Holy Family. And I would encourage you to read more about the Holy Family and read St. John Paul II's letter to families, read Paul VI's letter to families. They're wonderful documents, and in there they talk about how really the most important thing for families today is to imitate the Holy Family, to be a place of peace and of love, acceptance, and forgiveness. And that there should always be prayer time within families. The families that pray together stay together. So grace before meals, grace after meals, the rosary, family rosary, consecration of the family to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, the enthronement, having your home blessed, and really trying to imitate the Holy Family. They had their struggles as well. They struggled financially. They were poor, as we know from tomorrow's feast day of the presentation in the temple. They could not offer a lamb. They could only offer 2 doves or 2 pigeons. They became exiles. They were hunted down by King Herod. They had death threats against their child. They had to go to a foreign country, learn the language, find work. They had many struggles. And then you have the death of St. Joseph when Jesus was a teenager. You had Mary being a young widow, Jesus losing his foster father, St. Joseph, at a young age. So we have a lot in the Holy Family that modern families can relate to, challenges, difficulties, and so we especially ask the Holy Family to intercede for all families today. As some of the saints have said, as the family goes, so goes the church. As the family goes, so goes society. So we ask the Holy Family to intercede for all families today, and let's spend this month of February honoring the Holy Family and trying to imitate their virtues.